Good morning and welcome to the Oasis Center for Spiritual Living, where we come together as one, providing spiritual tools for daily living. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Reverend Tucker. I'm the senior minister here at the Oasis, and God has provided me this awesome team that I always like to introduce, starting with Faith. Faith has been my assistant since the day she was born. We would put her up on the podium with me while I did the announcements, and she would help me do announcements. And then later on, she and her sister would pass out affirmation cards, which is what our ushers used to do at the end of the service when we had a facility. And then about 5 years ago, she became my official assistant, both in my ozone business and this. So it's almost 6 years. Can you believe it?
I know, it's so weird.
I know, crazy. Anyway, and so she is the one behind the scenes who does all the work. So if you say hi, hello, good morning, like we like you to, she's the one that answers you. She knows me better than I know myself because she's lived like 6 blocks away from me her whole life. And pretty much, in the summer times and stuff, well, even in the winter times when your dad would go on a tow out in the mountains or whatever, he would drop them at my house and they'd hang out with me. So she's grown up with me basically. And so she knows me better than I know myself. So she always answers as me and she's right on. But I do go back later on and look just to make sure she covered everything. And she is our soloist. So today we're going to be singing Karen Drucker's Lighten Up from which CD?
Beloved.
Beloved. Yeah, Beloved. Oh, yeah. That's a great CD. So yes. I think you're going to love the song. I think you're going to love the service. So thank you, Faith, for being here.
Thank you.
We love you. And then there is my partner in crime, the wise and powerful Oz. He's been with me since 1998, basically. There was a short gap here where he moved to Florida and we kind of lost our ability to have him in the service, but he's back with us because of technology and we're so proud and so happy. He was my board president for many, many years. But anyway, Oz is our practitioner of the day. He's available for, he is going to pray us in and pray us out, and he's available for our 1-minute miracle at the end. So stay tuned and I'll tell you a little bit more about that. So thank you, Oz, for being here. I so appreciate you. All right. And today's topic is Lighten Up, in case you hadn't guessed from the music. I lied. I didn't mean to. I thought we were starting Christmas this week. It's not this week. It's next week. I thought that this week was a December week, but it's not. It's a November week. So I decided to do Lighten Up because with all the holidays scrambling around, this is the time for everybody to kind of lighten up. Okay. All right. So let's see. Say hi, good morning, hello, to greet us, to let us know that you're here. When we're in a facility, I can look out and see who's here, but I don't have that ability with this technology, so I appreciate knowing who's here. If you're coming by later, just drop a line, say hello, let me know that you were here. We certainly appreciate that. The watch party button gives you the opportunity to invite all of your friends so they know what kind of service they can expect on a Sunday morning. And it gives you the ability to chat back and forth with them so you can answer all their questions and you don't bother anybody. So if you would like to invite all of your friends to come and see what the service is like, click on that watch party button and invite all your friends. All right. I invite you now to close your eyes if that feels comfortable. Allow the service to uplift and inspire you as we move into our centering song.
Surely the presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can feel the rush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place. presence of God is in this place. I can feel the mighty power and the grace. I can feel the rush of angels' wings. I see glory on each face. Surely the presence of God is in this place.
The presence of God, right here, right now. For God, infinite and eternal, is all there is, all around us, within us, as us. That one presence extends to all of creation, including me, including you, including all we see and all we do. The presence of God manifests and unfolds as our life develops. And its one presence can be seen anywhere in the universe. Current one, potential ones, past ones, future ones, all of them occur within that one great infinite being that we call God. I invite its presence here right now to uplift and inspire all as they go through the service, and I know that that blessing never goes unanswered. I know this is good and very good, and I'm thankful that it is so, and so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Oz. All right, this next song is, I forgot to mention the adjunct music team that we have, or introduce them, I should say. One is Albertina Giuffre, who has been our singer since like 2000 and needed a break. So she doesn't appear on camera very often, but sometimes we invite her. I'm hoping that she'll be here for a couple of Sundays in December. She hasn't answered me yet, so I'm working on that. But she does appear periodically, and so she's part of our music team. And then Reverend Fairy Elaine Silver, who wrote this next song, by the way. I bought all of her CDs years ago, but she has given us permission to use her music, and that's really important, because if we try to use contemporary music, Facebook hushes us. They cut the sound on our music. So, and so does YouTube, by the way. There's a copyright infringement that happens. And then Karen Drucker, who has gifted us with her entire collection. So these two ladies are really special to us, because we like to have a full service and not just me talking for an hour. So it's really important that they've done that. So they are part of our adjunct music team. But this next song, like I said, was written by Reverend Fairy Elaine Silver when she was doing her practitioner training. And it really is the epitome of what we teach, that we are all one. Okay. And so this song is great. If you know the words, sing it loud and sing it proud, because you can't bother anybody. And if you don't know the words, learn them. It's a great way to remember that we are connected to all of life.
We are all one. We are all one. We are all one in it. I hear it and know it, my being. Spirit is all I am seeing. For God is all there is. Grateful am I to be living, open to what I receive, honoring what I've been given, sharing now what I believe. I remember the oneness around me. I surrender to infinite light, knowing the love that's surrounding me is within me by day and night. And we are all one. We are all one. We are all one in it. Yes, we are all one. We are all one. We are all one in it.
Are all one in it. All right. The host has unmuted your mic. Oh, was I muted? I'm sorry. Okay. Yes, we are all one in it. I'll repeat where I was going. So if you're here this morning, please say hi, good morning, hello, however you want to greet us. Let us know you're here. When we're in a facility, I can look out and see the beautiful faces looking back at me, and I know who's here, and I don't have that option with this software. So I sure appreciate it if you just let me know you're here. And if you're joining us at another time, just say hi, drop us a note, let us know that you stopped by. Okay. All right. Also, if you hear something that you like, use that thumbs up button. If you love something that you hear, and it doesn't matter whether it's something I say or Faith sings or Oz prays, give us some love. We love to get love. Let's see. I can't make the heart today. There we go. We love to get love. And if something strikes you as really powerful that happens here, by all means, use the wow button. That feedback is very important to us because it helps us be better. It helps us get through this better and know that we're on track. Okay, thanks. All right, so without further ado, we are going to have Faith singing Lighten Up by Karen Drucker on the Beloved CD.
Thank you. I was walking down the street, I was feeling mighty fine, till I caught a glimpse in the window of my behind. There was a jiggle and a wiggle that I've never seen before. As I looked a little closer, oh my God, I found more. I freaked out and I shrieked out, no, this has just ruined my day. When I heard a voice inside me say, lighten up, don't take it so seriously, lighten up, trust the mystery, lighten up, it doesn't matter anyway, just enjoy your life and get out of your way, lighten up. Now I'm headed to a party to meet my friends. I've got an outfit that's right for, oh my God, I got a living end. By the scope of the scene, it's as obvious to me that the money at this party is simply obscene. They're talking about their mansions, their yachts, and dropping names. In an instant, I feel unworthy, small and ashamed. But if I tried to make a beeline, as I'm out the back door, I heard a voice inside me say once more, lighten up. Don't take it so seriously, lighten up. Trust the mystery, lighten up. It doesn't matter anyway, just enjoy your life and get out of your way, lighten up. Worrying and judging, what good does it do when you compare yourself to me and I compare myself to you? This disease to please has got to go. I love myself, that's all I need to know. Looking at the mirror, new wrinkle has appeared. Do I curse? Do I stress? This is the thing I most fear. Then I remember my new mantra, and I soon realize that I'm perfect even with wrinkles and cellulite thighs. I've not changed a thing, struggle or try, cause my real beauty comes from deep inside. Lighten up, don't take it so seriously. Lighten up, trust the mystery. Lighten up, it doesn't matter anyway, just enjoy your life and get out of your way. Lighten up, take it so seriously, lighten up, trust the mystery, lighten up, doesn't matter anymore, I'm gonna enjoy my life and get out of my way, lighten up, trust the history, lighten up, it feels so good to lighten up.
As you're singing that song, I'm thinking, she's doing a really good job considering, nothing about wrinkles, jiggly butt, or cellulite thighs. So, like, oh, one of these days you'll look back at you singing that and go, yeah, there it is. At 18,
Well,
you're
and
just fresh.
it's such a groovy song, and I can't like be groovy right now, and so I'm like,
I know. For those of you who don't know, she hurt her shoulder this weekend, so she's like, she can't really, do the that she normally does. So thank you so much. You did a great job.
thank you.
Thank you. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Lightening up is really what it's about. I like to do this sermon this time of year because between Thanksgiving and Christmas, we are all just nuts trying to get all the shopping done for Christmas, get the holiday thing going for Thanksgiving with all of our family and rushing around. And then after that, we just go crazy trying to get presents and stuff. And so I always like to do this sermon during this time because lighten up is really what it's about. And everybody needs a little bit of that, right? I mean, have you ever looked in the mirror and saw something you didn't like, right? And it's funny how we judge ourselves, and so funny how we're really hard on ourselves. We would never think of saying to a friend, you look so bad. Oh my God, you're so fat. Look at all those wrinkles, We'd never do that. But, we do that to ourselves. We look in the mirror and we just keep saying, bad things about ourselves. And so that's the message today really is to lighten up, get out of our own way. Not only lighten up about the holidays, but lighten up about ourselves, not take ourselves quite so seriously. We want to take our spiritual path seriously, but we don't want to take everything in our life seriously because then you just what is life? Life isn't about all the negativity and all the craziness and all the stress. Life is really about enjoying. That's why we're here, is to enjoy our life. So since we do so much of that to ourselves and the world is so serious right now and all the things that are going on in the world, lighten up is a great message to have. I try not to watch the news too terribly much. I turn it on like for about a half an hour every morning because I need to know what's going on in the world. But I can't watch it 24/7. There are people out there, Lynn likes to watch the news a lot. But there are people out there that watch the news 24/7. And I don't know how they stay positive. I don't know how they can lighten up about their lives and enjoy their lives if all they're worried about is, all the shootings and all the things that are going on in this country right now and all the things that are going in other countries. And, all of that just stresses you out so much. And so I just don't know. I mean, like my consciousness, when it gets tainted, I have to keep remembering that God is love. And I just, I just have to keep myself focused on that because I can't allow myself the luxury of going to that deep, dark place that happens when I watch the news too much. So today, I'm going to be reading Dr. Seuss's Gertrude McFuzz. How many people are familiar with that? Anybody? It's pretty interesting. So let me see here. Let me get that up and running here. All right. So this is Gertrude McFuzz from Dr. Seuss. There once was a girl bird named Gertrude McFuzz, and she had the smallest plain tail ever was. One droopy droop feather. That's all that she had. And oh, that one feather made Gertrude so sad. For there was another young bird that she knew, a fancy young birdie named Lala Lilu. And instead of one feather behind, she had two. Poor Gertrude. Whenever she happened to spy Miss Lala Lilu flying by in the sky, she got very jealous. She frowned and she pouted. Then one day she got awfully mad and she shouted, "This just isn't fair. I have one, she has two. I must have a tail just like Lala Lilu." So she flew to her uncle, a doctor named Dake, whose office was high in a tree by the lake, and she cried, "Uncle Doctor, oh please, do you know of some kind of a pill that will make my tail grow?" "Tut, tut," said the doctor, "such talk, how absurd. Your tail is just right for your kind of bird." Then Gertrude had tantrum. She raised such a din that finally her uncle, the doctor, gave in, and he told her just where she could find such a pill, on a pillberry vine on the top of the hill. Oh, thank you, chirped Gertrude McFuzz, and she flew right straight to the hill where the bilberry grew. Yes, there was the vine, and as soon as she saw it, she plucked off a berry. She started to gnaw it. It tasted just awful, almost made her sick. But she wanted that tail, so she swallowed it quick. Then she felt something happen. She felt a small twitch, as if she'd been tapped down behind by a switch. And Gertrude looked round and she cheered. It was true. 2 feathers exactly like La-la-li-loo. Then she got an idea. Now I know what I'll do. I'll grow a tail that's better than La-la-li-loo. These pills that grow feathers are working just fine, so she nibbled another one off of the vine. She felt a new twitch, and then Gertrude yelled, "Whee! Miss Lala has only just 2. I have 3. When Lala-li-loo sees this beautiful stuff, she'll fall right down flat on her face, sure enough. I'll show her who's pretty, I certainly will. Why, I'll make my tail prettier still." She snatched at those berries that grew on that vine. She gobbled down 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And she didn't stop eating, young Gertrude McFuzz, till she'd eaten 3 dozen. That's all that there was. Then the feathers popped out with a zang, with a zing. They blossomed like flowers that bloom in the spring, all fit for a queen. What a sight to behold. They sparkled like diamonds and gumdrops and gold. Like silk, like spaghetti, like satin, like lace. They burst out like rockets all over the place. They waved in the air and they swished in the breeze, and some were as long as the branches of trees. And still they kept growing. They popped until long about sundown, when finally they stopped. And now, giggled Gertrude, the next thing to do is to fly straight home and show Lala-li-loo. And when Lala sees these, why, her face will get red and she'll let out a scream. She'll fall right down dead. Then she spread out her wings to take off from the ground, but with all those feathers, she weighed 90 pounds. She yanked and she pulled and she let out a squeak, but that bird couldn't fly, couldn't run, couldn't walk. And all through the night, she was stuck on that hill, and Gertrude McFuzz might be stuck up there still if her good Uncle Dake hadn't heard the girl yelp. He rushed to her rescue and brought along help. I wish you could see these illustrations. They're pretty cute. To lift Gertrude up almost broke all their beaks, and to fly her back home, it took almost 2 weeks. And then it took almost another week more to pull out those feathers. My Gertrude was sore. And finally, when all of the pulling was done, Gertrude behind her again had just one. That one little feather she had as a starter. But now that's enough, because now she is smarter. Isn't that a great story? I just love that, because it has like a couple of messages. One of them obviously is envy. You know, when we envy others, we don't understand. Like, somebody's life might look really perfect on the outside, but most people don't have the kind of relationship on the inside that they have on the outside. Let's put it that way. I used to have a friend that I thought her relationship with her husband was just so wonderful. And one night they invited me over for dinner, and all she did was bitch at him. And I started realizing she was not nearly as happy as I thought she was. And so I got the message right away that, you know, no matter how perfect something looks on the outside, it isn't always that way. And in reality, we all have relationships that are perfect for us. Our lives are perfect for us. We have this concept that perhaps somebody's life could be more perfect for us than our life is. But the truth of the matter is, we are already perfect the way we are. I always give out this song for my students in the beginning class. And it's all about loving yourself. I love myself the way I am, and still I want to grow. And that's really about, I have them do that, sing that to themselves every day. That's really about our feeling that somehow we're less than perfect. You know, I used to have this lady that waxed me that said one day, I don't know how we got in the conversation, but her name was Allie. And Allie said, you know, when I complain about myself, when I complain about my looks or anything about myself, I feel like I'm insulting God, because God created me. She has a very different religion than I do. But I agree with her. I mean, certainly if we're made of God, if that's what I believe we are, if we're made of God, then God doesn't make junk. And so when I insult my beauty, I insult God, because that's what I'm made of, right? And so, and I don't think God knows anything about beauty or not beauty, right? God only sees perfection everywhere. And so when I think about that, when I think about our human doingness that gets involved in all of that, it's our need to quantify or compare or judge everything. You know, there is no right or wrong. There is no pretty or ugly. There's only, it is, right? In the mind of God, it just is. And when you're envious about somebody else, you're basically saying that you're not enough. And how could God not be enough? That person is God and you are God. And so, we're always looking at the other side thinking there's grass on the other side. And that's not necessarily true. There's grass on this side and it's really good grass. We just feel this need to judge for some reason in our human doingness. The grass is not always greener somewhere else. So it's not as good as what you have. Just don't see that someone else's life is better than you have. Know that your life is perfect for you. It is your life. And if there's something that's lacking, it's up to you to change it. And you have that power. And so rather than looking at their life and saying, I want that life, say, what is it about my life that I can change? I have the power to change. I was on TikTok one time and this lady was talking about informations. And I was like, it was interesting because I've always thought of things like affirmations. We say, I am perfect. I am beautiful, right? And her idea was you ask yourself, why am I so beautiful? And what happens is she says the subconscious mind then tries to fill in the blanks, as our human consciousness is designed to answer the question, right? Is designed to fill in the blanks. And so when you ask yourself the question, why am I so beautiful? Then the universe steps in to, or our subjective mind steps in to fill in the blank, like answer the question. I'm so beautiful because, I'm so beautiful because. And the beauty of that, the beauty of even affirmations, like in affirmations, when you say, I'm not ugly, the universe doesn't hear the adjectives that lead up to that thing. It just hears I'm ugly, right? And so even in affirmations, we're programming our subjective mind. And so when you do the informations, like she says, when you're asking the question, why is my life so perfect? Why am I so wealthy? Why am I so healthy? Why am I so beautiful? Why am I so loved? Your subjective mind is going to step up and try to answer those questions. And in doing so, it programs it to believe that you really are. I've said this many, many times. You go to a movie and you see a sad scene and it's just a movie and yet you cry. And so it's the idea that your mind does not know the difference between fact and fiction, really. It just knows what it's experiencing. So if you can ask yourself, why am I so beautiful? Then your subjective mind is going to fill in the blanks because you have beautiful eyes, because you have beautiful hair, because you have a beautiful mouth, okay. And so that's really the sustenance of it all, is that we want our subjective mind to fill in those blanks and tell us why we're so beautiful so we can feel beautiful, because then we start believing we're beautiful. Same thing with love. Why am I so loved? You're loved because you are this and you are that. And then you start believing that you're loved. That's really the truth of it. God doesn't know anything about hatred, ugliness, poverty. God doesn't know anything about any of those things. God's, world is perfect. And it's only our human doingness that programs us to see something other than the beauties, than the love, than the prosperity, than the perfect health, right? And so it's up to us to reprogram that subjective mind to see the opposite, and put our subconscious or our subjective mind to work providing reasons for the perfection, right? When you compare yourself to others, a lot of times you come up short and sometimes you come up long. But if you come up long in the process, you hurt yourself anyway, Because if I come up long, if I look down on someone else, if I say, well, I'm much more beautiful than that person, then I'm hurting my own integrity within myself, because we know that there is no such thing like snowflakes, for example. Snowflakes are unique. Each snowflake is unique. It's not special. One is not more special than the other. And in our quest to feel special, we are hurting ourselves. We're hurting our self-esteem, because acknowledging our uniqueness is one of the wonderful things about life, that we are unique, but we're not more special than anybody else. I mean, if everybody was special, there wouldn't be special, right? And if I'm more special than someone else, then they have to be less special. And by putting them down, that hurts our self-esteem. So recognizing our uniqueness and their uniqueness and being excited about that is really the key to it all. I mean, I think the world would be a very boring place if everybody was exactly like me. You know, I love myself. I like who I am. But if all I ever came in contact with was people like myself, then the world would be a very boring place. Where the interest in the world, where the excitement and beauty of the world comes in, is in celebrating the uniqueness of each person, and not saying they have to be as pretty as I am, or they have to be as whatever than I am, right? I think that's really at the gist of all of the envy stuff, is that, I envy somebody because I'm afraid I'm not that. I'm afraid that I will never be as beautiful as them, as loved as them, as prosperous as them, as healthy as them. I'm not saying that I don't look around the gym and go, wow, I want a body like that. I don't, that I do. What I don't do is go, oh, well, that's a body that, her body isn't as good as mine. Or the other thing I don't do is say, well, that's her. She has that body. I could never be that. Because truthfully, if I work at it, if I was willing to apply myself, I could have that body. And the drawback is that we are not as willing to commit to that, to have that perfect body. Like, I see these women that go to the gym all the time, and, I think, oh my gosh, but I can't make myself do that every day. I wish I could. And maybe I will be able to eventually. Right now, that's just not where I'm at. But I don't look at them and think that I'm less than because I don't have that body, or I don't think that they're less than because they don't have, other things in their life that I have, right? And that's really it. Envy comes down to just that, is comparing ourselves to others and realizing that, that we are perfect just the way we are. God doesn't make junk, right? And it's an insult to God when I say to myself, wow, I have a fat body. She has a perfect body, right? That is an insult to God, because God made me in the image and likeness of itself. All right. So humble humility is so important to the process, because I look at God and I'm in awe of everything that God has provided on this earth. And being in awe of that, I know that perfection was provided to me. So the other possibility, or the other lesson that I take from the Gertrude McFuss story, is appreciating ourselves. I look at the earth and I see the miracles that God has provided. For instance, my trees. Let's just take my tree. I know I'm talking about my trees a lot these days. I don't know why. But when I sit on the porch, I used to be a sun worshiper. I mean, I still sort of am, but I get hot, so I can't sit in the sun all the time. I used to sit on my porch and enjoy the sun and just bake, and I was happy with it. And as my trees have grown up, they have now provided shade for my patio, because I can't stand the sun anymore. I love it, but I can't, my body gets too overheated. And so I didn't plan it that way, but it has provided this, this beautiful, I don't know what you would call that, this spread that goes across my patio. And so I'm in the shade all the time when I'm on my patio. But the other thing that it did is, when I take my cockatoo out on his PlayStation, we have red-tail hawks in the area, and I always have to worry that one's going to get him because I lost a bird to a predator once, and so I take him out and put him on his PlayStation, and it's not that the hawk couldn't get there if it really wanted to, but it's not easy to get to him because it would have to go through the trees, and by that point I would see what's going on. And so all of that was not pre-planned. I did not set out to plant these trees to do that. I wanted a little shade in the afternoon, and I didn't realize when this one branch grows sideways clear across my patio and provides a lot of shade. And it also provides protection for Buddy. But I look at that as God knew, I didn't, God knew that I would need all of that. And the other thing is, I planted this stick tree many years ago. I think it's been like 12 years now. And the funny part about that is when I planted it, it was just a stick with a little root ball. We planted it in there. And it is a Royal Empress tree from China. And it has these big bunches of little purple flowers. So it looks like a big purple flower. It's only flowered once in the 12 years. And I wasn't even here to witness it, by the way. My neighbor got to see it. I was in Florida at the time that it bloomed. And it's only bloomed the one time. And so I never have gotten to see the big purple flowers. And every year you cut it down, and it's supposed to grow 18 feet, but that's in the south. And so we get about 7, 8, maybe 10 feet every year, but no blossoms, right? And when the Chinese government, so the Chinese families use that as their daughter's dowry because it's such hard wood. So they make the dowry out of it, the dower chest. And it grows like a weed in the jungle. It just takes over everything. And so in order to import it over here, the Chinese government had to sterilize the plant so that it would never shoot offsprings off, right? So what do you think I have? On the opposite side of the garden, one popped up, and we're letting it grow. Because what I realized a long time ago when I had an aspen tree that grew up alongside my hot tub was the healthiest plants are the ones that decide where they want to grow. And I think that's a God thing. I think, like I have in my human wisdom, I go out and I plant this tree right there and I say, this is where I want this tree to be. And God laughs and says, no, you don't understand. It needs to be over here. It will do much better over here. And so I look at all of that in terms of us. Like, we don't know how perfect God sees us, right? And so we're over there looking at the wrinkles and the cellulite thighs and the wiggly butt. And we're looking at all of that stuff. And God is going, you're beautiful. You're absolutely breathtakingly beautiful, right? And that's, I think, the biggest lesson from all of this with Gertrude McFuzz is that she didn't have an appreciation for the one tail because she was comparing herself to others, but also because she didn't see the beauty in her own tail. And, I've had my struggles. I promise you I've had my struggles. This past year, I finally had the blepharoplasty I wanted because my eyelids were drooping, age. But I don't look at myself and go, I never did look at myself and go, gee, you really look ugly and old. I just can't do that to myself. And that is what we do. We look in the mirror and we say, I'm fat, or I have too many wrinkles, or God, I'm just not pretty, or I'm not this. And by doing that, we're insulting God because we are perfect just as we are. Sure, we want to grow. Sure, we want to be better in some areas. But in reality, we are just ourselves. And we are the perfect me that we could ever be. Like, nobody else could be me. Nobody else could be a more perfect version of myself. And that's, I think, where we get kind of sideways, is we don't understand that I'm the only one that can be the perfect me. And you are the only one that can be the perfect you. And to celebrate that is the way we are programmed, actually. Our real programming, the programming that we came to this earth with, not the programming that the subjective mind has taken in through all of the experiences we've had. But because we're divine beings, we were created exactly the way we're supposed to be. And no one can live my life for me. No one else can see me, you know. I'm the only one that can be me, and we're perfect just the way we are. We have free will on this earth, and because we have free will, we don't always exactly do what we should be doing, right? I don't go to the gym every day like I should, of course. But I do know that I am the perfect me, and I can only be that. I can't be anyone else. I can't be that girl with the beautiful body. I can be this girl with a perfect body if I was to apply myself. But I could never be that other person, and that other person could never be me. I guess that's the point I'm trying to make. I watched this movie one time. It was a beautiful movie about this girl that was born without legs or arms. And she found someone who he just adores her. He loves her so much. And through the movie, as I'm watching this, I'm thinking, you know, if she can find somebody that loves her, then anyone can find anyone, right? I mean, there's always somebody there that is pre-programmed, let's just say, pre-programmed to be the perfect mate for us. It's whether or not we open ourselves to the experience of meeting that person that matters. And we get caught up in this idea of, oh, that would be the perfect man for me, or that would be the perfect man for me, or that would be the perfect girl for me, or, that kind of experience. And in reality, when we know that we are perfect just as we are, when we know that, then we attract to ourselves that perfect mate that's going to show us, that's going to mirror for us how wonderful we are, right? And there is enough money in the universe. It's not like we are, when I say I have all the financial abundance I could ever want, it's not like we're taking anything away from everybody, right? The universe is abundant and it's unlimited. And so all of the abundance that I pray for is good, right? It doesn't take anything away from anyone else. I cannot deplete the infinite reservoir of abundance in the universe. And so when I focus my attention on how beautiful I am and how successful I am and how financially abundant I am and how healthy I am, it's not taking anything away from anyone else. All it does is reaffirm what I was destined to have in the first place, right? I was made in the image and likeness of God, so everything in the universe is for me. And while I'm on that subject, I want to talk about for and against, because I think it's pertinent to this in realizing that we are not against anything. We believe that we are for everything and against nothing. Now, that doesn't mean that I am for war. What it means is I am not against war. I am for love. I am for peace. I am for prosperity. I am for health, right? I'm not against disease. I'm not against. You see what happens? Like, if I focus my attention on what I'm against, then I live in that reality of the against thing. If I focus my attention on what I'm for, which is the opposite of that, then I create experiences that are more to my liking. So I'm not against violence in the world. I am for peace and love in the world. I am not against dis-ease. I am for wellness and health, right? It's like ozone. For example, in my ozone business, what we're doing is we're oxygenating tissue. And when you oxygenate tissue, it makes an inhospitable environment for viruses, bacteria, parasites, those kinds of things to exist. I'm not anti-virus. I am pro-oxygen, you see? And so when we are in that space, in that headspace in the world, it makes it very important that we focus on the right things so that we can see the kind of world we would like to experience. And it all begins at home. It begins with our self-esteem. It begins with our feeling of deserving, right? You would never say that God doesn't deserve something, would you? And if we're made of God like I believe we are, then we must deserve everything, right? I deserve it and I claim it because God flows through me and it is what I'm made of, and because it's my birthright to have it. The divine blueprint of health, the financial abundance to share and to spare, the love to fill my heart and make me feel loved. I deserve all of that. So the lessons from Lighten Up, the lessons from Gertrude McFuzz are, the three lessons are, not to compare yourselves to others, get rid of the envy, to look at yourself and know that you are perfect because God created you and you're made in the image and likeness of God, to celebrate that perfection in whatever area of your life you're talking about. It doesn't matter. And the third lesson is to, excuse me. The third lesson is to know that you deserve it all. You deserve it. You're all that. And a bag of chips too. Let's have a prayer. Maybe. I now focus my attention to the infinite presence of God. That place within me that knows beyond human understanding just how powerful God is. To know that God is simply all there is, all there ever has been, and all there will ever be, and all there is right here, right now. One life, one love, one perfect perfection. And that is where I find myself, in the midst of God, my very life, my very essence, my very being. It is who and what I am. And every thought, every action, every deed is guided and led by that ancient wisdom of the ages. That is God flowing through me, God in me, as me. And so I know that to be true for this wonderful team of God that I have to manage. For Lynn and for Tina and for Faith and for Oz and for Karen and for Elaine. For we are one in the infinite presence of God. We are one in the life of God. We are connected by it, through it, as it. And every thought, every action, every deed is guided and led by that same ancient wisdom of the ages that leads and guides all of life. That God flowing through us informs us. I know the same truth to be so for all who are watching this, whether that be in real time or later on. Because I do know that there is no place where one leaves off and the other begins. There's only one life, one love, one being, and it flows through all. So I bless this week. I know that we celebrate the perfection that we are. Letting go of all the envy and comparison. Letting go of the idea that we are anything less than perfect. And that we absolutely deserve it all. We celebrate the knowingness that God doesn't make junk. We were created in the image and likeness of God through God, made of God's stuff. And for that, we deserve it all. So I know that same truth to be so for every name that is in the ministry of prayer today. Because I do know that whatever condition they are experiencing, it is born of an idea from a human doingness mind. And the life and the power and the presence of God has more power than that condition. So I pull back the veil right now. I let God shine through as I claim they're good for them in their name. I claim it as good and very good. And so my heart just fills with gratitude to know that this is so, to let it be so, to be in service in this way. I give thanks and I let it be. And so it is. Okay, I'm back. I sure would like a song in the middle. We need to figure out a way to work in a song in the middle, so I have a moment to come back. This is our opportunity to receive your gifts, tithes, and offerings. I'd have to stop talking, is what it would amount to. Stop talking so much. Whoops. This is our opportunity to receive your gifts, tithes, and offerings, and your opportunity to express your gratitude for that which you have experienced in this physical realm, and for that which you have created in the mind of God but have not yet seen in the physical realm. And so in a moment, I'm going to invite you to go to www.oasiscsl.org. And about 2/3 down the page, there's an offering affirmation. I'm going to ask you to say with me, and then there's a contribute now button right under it. So I just like to quickly point out what you're contributing to, because we don't have a facility. So you're not paying facility rent or utilities or minister's salary. You're not paying any of that. What you're contributing to is our vision of healing the world one person at a time, and it's global. We want this message to get out into the world, not just America, not just Germany and UK and Holland, which we already have people viewing from, but to the world, to uplift and inspire everyone, for God's message to lift them up and give them a better life. And so it takes money, unfortunately, to market that, to be in all those countries and to get the message out. So that's what you're contributing to, is our vision and our mission. All right. So right now, whether you're watching this in real time or you're coming back later and viewing it, please go with me right now to www.oasiscsl.org. And about 2/3 down the page, please say this offering affirmation with me. This perfect gift is spirit in form, circulating and blessing all it touches. Freely I give and joyously I receive. And so it is. All right. Let me think what I'm going to do here. Okay, so we have this wonderful team of licensed practitioners that are the healing arm of the church. And we call them our God Squad. And they pray every day on requests for a week. So if you would like prayer for something, please put it in the comments section. If you don't want it to be public, you can always DM Faith or myself, and we will put it on the private facing group page on Facebook for the God Squad. And so if you would like to be a member of the God Squad for that purpose only, you can't see clients, obviously, but you can do affirmative prayer. If you'd have to be commit to doing affirmative prayer, no beseeching, no asking, and you need to be able to follow through on that and to keep those requests confidential, meaning you don't even talk to your spouse about it, or your friends, or your kids, or anybody. No one. You keep it completely 100% confidential. If you would like to participate on the God Squad for that purpose only, please type yes in the comment section, and Faith will add you as a God Squad member to that private facing group page on Facebook. If you would like to be part of our online community, meaning you get information about what we're doing, like classes and that kind of thing, before the rest of the world gets it, just type more in the comments section, and Faith will add you to our public facing group page, which is our online community. Okay. All right. And our licensed practitioners are available by appointment for a fee for spiritual guidance. What you do is you reach out to them, let them know that you would like a session, and they will tell you how to pay for it, either by PayPal or Venmo or Cash App or Wise. I don't get involved in that. They are separate businesses. They set up their own business and all of that. So I don't know which practitioners use which format, which platform, whatever. But anyway, you let them know you want a session. They will set an appointment with you, arrange payment, and then they will reach out to you by video chat at the appointed time. And today, Oz is available for what we call our 1-minute miracle. It's not a time for counseling or spiritual guidance, but it is a time where you can share with him whatever challenge you're experiencing, and he will stop, drop, and pray with you right then and there. He is available. You just video chat. And if he doesn't answer right away, it means he's probably on the line with someone else. So try back later. But take advantage of these loving services that our practitioners provide because they're awesome people. And I have a practitioner. Every minister that I know in our movement has a practitioner that they talk to. It's very, very important to do so, because they can see the truth for you when you can't see it yourself. All right. And then we have, I was trying to grab this and it just kept sliding around. The first one I want to do is Brooks and Bailey. And they have mala beads and necklaces and bracelets. This is an amethyst one, so it's like $60. They also have whatever gemstone you like. They have them from $30 and up. And you can reach them through Brooks and Bailey 0307@gmail.com or on their Facebook page. They now have a Facebook page. And I try to, whenever they're going to be at an event, like they're going to be a vendor at one of the shows or something like that, I try to repost that so you can go visit them because they really do have awesome stuff. And all of the proceeds benefit Rocky Mountain Lab Rescue, which is a very worthy cause. So check them out, buy something from them. Okay, Faye.
And please check out my metaphysical shop, The Mystic Brew. The website no longer works. However, you can order stuff through DMing us on Instagram and Facebook, and we can talk about payment. But we have intention jars and bath salts. Also, great Christmas presents. I do plan on doing that for some of my family. So definitely check us out at The Mystic Brew 303. We are going to try to do something for New Year's. So please definitely check us out, follow us so you can get updates on different events happening as well.
Okay. This is the intention jar that Faith gave me for working on my prosperity. And I play with it all the time while I'm thinking about what my prosperous life looks like. I turn it around and I just play with it. It helps me focus on my intent. I believe these are $15. Yes. Yes. Okay. They're $15. So check that out. She's got some really great stuff. And then as an adjunct to that, we have Angel Renee's Etsy store that has intention candles for the same purpose. And she has these wonderful tea bags that you can put in your bath. And the mixture of the aroma of all the herbs helps you to focus on your intention. So check these things out. They're just really good for helping you focus on what you want in your life. All right. Then check out www. Oh, yeah, you're right. She's right. Check out Reverend Fairy Elaine Silver's website. We like to support those who support us. And like I said, her CDs are wonderful. And a lot of them were created while she was going through her practitioner and ministerial training. So she's got some really good stuff. Now, she doesn't have the ability to change her website, so she can't change how you pay, or she can't put on there how you pay her. She is traveling all around the United States doing her music, and so you reach out to her by email once you figure out which CD you want, and let her know which CD you want. She'll tell you how to pay for it, and she carries the CDs around in her trunk, and she's really good about making sure that you get them. So do that. Definitely order something from her. And then also Karen Drucker's website does work. You can buy it by the song, by the CD, by the songbook. She has karaoke files. She has everything, and her payment portal does work. So definitely, we like to support those who support us, and they make it possible for us to have music on Sundays. So definitely go and check them out and get something, especially since Christmas is coming. That's a great gift to give to somebody. I love getting Karen Drucker CDs. I think I've got them all now, but but back in the old days, I used to love it when people would give me Karen Drucker CDs. So that's perfect. All right. Then check us out at www.oasiscsl.org. We have video sermons for the last 3 years. We have audio sermons for the years prior to that. I'm getting that updated, I promise. I'm working on YouTube and SoundCloud as we speak. YouTube, for some reason, when I downloaded it from StreamYard, it used to go up to YouTube automatically. It doesn't do that anymore, and so I'm about a year behind, but I'm working on it. But that's where you find the video sermons is on YouTube, and on SoundCloud, you get all the audio sermons under S. Tucker. So check all of that out. we'd love to have you participate in services with us. We'd love to have you be there with us. And so sometimes if you can listen to what the sermons are like, you might actually want to join us more often. All right. Right now, let's go into our closing song. And I'll see you on the other side.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
And right now, I know the blessings of God surround, uplift, and enfold us as we go through our week. For God is all there is, everywhere we go, in us, as us, in all we see and all we do. I give thanks for the blessings of God that manifest all around us, and I let these blessings unfold. I know that it is good and very good, and I give thanks, and I let it be. And so it is.
And so it is. Thank you, Oz. All right. Thank you for being here. There's 1,000 things you could be doing on a Sunday morning. We are really glad you were here with us. Join us next week. I promise next week we really are starting the Advent titles for Christmas. 10:30 a.m. Mountain Time and every week. We really appreciate you. In the meantime, stay safe, wear a mask. We love you. Namaste.